What's going on, everyone? So, I want to talk about Dalton Knecht, right? Because he's been working in the offseason. He even talked about it, did a whole video on it. So go check out that video if you kind of want the details on that. But, a lot of talks about him being traded. I mean, he already was traded once. A lot of Laker fans don't want him. Like, they look at him as untouchable. I don't look at him as untouchable. I would love to keep him. I do think that there's plenty of upside, plenty of potential for him, right? But he is 24 years old. He's not, if he was 21, I don't even think it would be a consideration. I think the Lakers would end up keeping him, right? 24 years old, though, is still young, right? Like, maybe he doesn't have the potential to become a superstar or anything like that, but just to be a really good player, like if he can be a legit 3-and-D, even just a starter level, even like the fifth guy on your team, you still need that guy. And if he's a guy that can randomly go off for 30 on a random night and shoot the lights out and do all this stuff, it's huge. Right? Like, Lakers, Dalton Knecht is the exact type of player the Lakers need. Young, athletic, long, tall, shoot the lights out of the basketball. The one issue is the defensive side of things. I mean, he's literally our worst defender by a good margin. Right? And that's the problem. Right? Like, and Dalton Knecht he's not consistent enough and he's not good enough yet to justify that. Like people go, oh, if Dalton Knecht's so bad, well, Luka's bad, Reeves is bad. Yeah, but they're good enough to justify playing them even despite the bad defense, right? Luka Doncic is one of the three best players in all of basketball, right? Like, it's not even a question. Who cares? He could be the worst defensive player in all of basketball. He's the third best player in all of basketball. It doesn't matter. You figure it out and you put the guys around him to mask him. He's that good, right? Austin Reeves, not third best player in basketball, but he is good. Like, I don't really like his fit with Luka, but he is good. He's a serviceable defender, right? He's not great. He's not good. He's serviceable at times. He does have his games and his moments where he's just a traffic cone, but he is a serviceable defender. As much as people want to say that he's, worst defensive player on the Lakers, he's not. He's actually like in the middle for the Lakers. But again, his skill set, what he can do, how he operates is you can justify playing him and starting him, right? Rui Hachimura, same thing, right? You can justify that. Dalton Knecht was a roller coaster ride last year, which is expected. He's a rookie, right? The problem is he came in like gangbusters, just kicking the door in, lighting up the league, winning games by himself, dropping 30 every other night. And so it made the legend bigger than the player, right? And so now what happens is all of a sudden he starts with the inconsistencies and he starts, kind of, getting less opportunities and less roles because it's like, well, he's not shooting the lights out. We can't justify him out there. But then that also hurts Dalton Knecht because he's a shooter, right? So he needs the shots. Right? LeBron James, for example, missed 21 straight threes and was still shooting like 9 a game. And it's like, dude, why are you keep shooting? It's because he's trying to shoot himself out of the slump. Right? He's in a slump. He's in a shooting slump. How do you get out of it? You get the reps up. And then that one goes in, and then all of a sudden, boom, another one, and then he got back to being, a good shooter. All right, well, problem is LeBron can take 9 threes a game, and no one's going to say anything because it's LeBron James. Dalton Knecht, one, isn't even going to get close to those attempts, and two, if he did that, he probably wouldn't even get close to those attempts because he'd be yanked out of the game. So now he has to get out of his shooting slump over the course of games rather than a game or two. Right? Like, that's a big difference. Especially, again, for a guy that is a shooter that went... And we've seen Dalton Knecht. We've seen Dalton Knecht on every level. College, summer league, NBA, all of it. Where he is like 0 of 5 from 3. And then you look up and he's 5 of 10. It's like, dude, that guy just made 5 straight threes. And it's like, yeah. Because, he sees one. That's it. He's cooking. And so, again, he had the inconsistencies. But the problem was the defensive side of things. And he's a rookie. He's inexperienced. So, like, how do you trust him in big moments, in big areas, right? So, can't defend. So how does Dalton Knecht make himself essentially untradeable? I mean, no one's really untradeable, but we get the point. Where the Lakers start second-guessing, hey, maybe this isn't a good idea. Maybe we should keep Dalton Knecht. Now, you could argue it just raises his trade value. But for starters, he needs to be the best player in Summer League. Right? Or at least one of the best players in Summer League. Right? He comes in Summer League, he's just lighting folks up and doing all that stuff. That'd be a good start. 2, right? He needs to play defense. If he's getting cooked and torched in Summer League, it's probably not a good sign that he's not going to get torched and cooked in the NBA. Guess what the Lakers are going to think? We can do without him. right? The Lakers' reasoning for trading him was that he was, at best, the 8th or ninth guy on the bench, right? So he needs to get that perception that, no, this guy could be now the 6th guy off the bench. Especially Lakers need the scoring. They need, Lakers had one of the worst benches in all of basketball last year. They desperately need somebody off the bench that can be that guy for them. If Dalton Knecht can move into that, right, all of a sudden it's like, oh, do we really want to trade Knecht? Right, Knecht's our leading scorer off the bench, playing some good defense. Not even great. I'm not even talking about elite. I'm not talking about anything. Just don't get smoked every possession. It's kind of hard to justify keeping you out there if you're scoring 15 points, but you're giving up 20, right? We're -5 when you're out there every night. It's like, teams are going to gun for him and are going to go after him, right? And so you start moving yourself up this ladder, right? You start climbing that ladder into where the perception of you is like, okay, there's something there. If he's basically the same player he was last year, the Lakers are going to trade him. Lakers are going to trade him. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what any of us think. The Lakers don't care. They're going to do what they think is best, right? Like Lakers, if they listen to their fans, Lakers would be all over the place, right? No one would get traded and the Lakers would be a weird team, right? But point is that if he looks like the player he was last year, maybe slightly better, right? Maybe a little more consistent offensively, but still the atrocious defender he was last year, he's getting traded. He is. The Lakers are going to end up trading him because it doesn't make sense for the Lakers have too many needs. And unless he can fill one of those needs, he's your best trade asset, right? Like he's the guy. Again, I see a lot of people like the one of the common things is like, oh, he was the steal of the draft. He fell to the Lakers, and now what? Now you want the Lakers to trade him? I don't know if you know this. Maybe you didn't notice, but the Lakers landed Luka Doncic. Everything changed when the Lakers landed Luka, right? Like when you had Anthony Davis and stuff, it's like you had assets, you had more things, you had things that you could work out. Right? You had more picks. You had more young players. You wanted to kind of keep some young guys. Max Christie, Dalton Knecht, kind of grow and develop them with Bronny James. Right? You could potentially have your point guard, shooting guard, and small forward of the future as you move forward, depending on how those three shape up. Right? And then also, okay, we need to go get a center. Right? Like everything's different when you have the team with Anthony Davis. Everything changes. Dalton Knecht's a steal. You need shooting around LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Right, you have Anthony Davis that can make up for a lot of the lacks of defensive inefficiencies that Dalton Knecht has. There's a lot that changes when you go and you trade for Luka Doncic. You can't afford to have 5 guys around him that can't defend. What do you think the problem is right now? The Lakers have too many guys that can't defend along Luka. And Luka is so good, it's justified. You know what? You figure it out. Dalton Knecht isn't, and likely. Again, I never want to put a cap on a young man, but he's almost as old as Luka. He's likely never going to be as good as Luka. Right? Unless he takes some insane strides. He's probably not going to be a top 5, 10 player in all of basketball. Right? At best, he's probably just that 3-and-D role player off the bench, maybe a top 100 player in the league, a top 50 player in the league. Right? So he needs to make sure that he's doing the hard stuff. And in all honesty, for being honest, as much as I love Dalton Knecht, as much as I want him on the Lakers, it might be best for Dalton Knecht to leave the Lakers because he's probably never going to get the opportunities that he would somewhere else. Like, there's a good chance he might not, even if he does fix the defensive inefficiencies and stuff, there's no guarantee he's ever going to be the starter, right? Because they might need elite defensive players around him, not just like a good defensive player. Right? Like, and then on top of that, even if he is a starter, he's probably never going to be more than like the 4th or 5th guy. Right? So all those things, like, he's probably never going to be more than just a catch and shoot 3 guy. Right? But we've seen that he can be more. All these things matter. But Dalton Knecht, he has to prove, if he doesn't want to get traded, it's up to him to show, hey, I've taken some real strides. If he's kind of the same player he was last year, the Lakers are going to trade him. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. As always, this is a discussion. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me not. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.